Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, or Rumble channel, or is it called a channel on Rumble also? Or maybe it's, whatever they call it on Rumble, welcome back to that. Welcome back to my videos, whether you are watching on YouTube or on Rumble, whichever you are watching it on. So, in this video, I'm going to talk about a couple of things concerning Donald Trump. Yeah. So I thought I'd combine these two topics, make them one. Now then, I've been seeing memes, or like stuff on Twitter lately, or a few days ago, about people who believe that that Butler was staged, that the assassination attempt on Trump's life, not Butler, was staged. Like, some people actually believe that. Don't know where to begin. Okay, first of all, that shooter used real bullets. There was real people who actually died. Well, I mean, I don't know how many people. I know one guy died at that doing that attempt. That means real bullets. Now then, given where the bullet hits, are you gonna stage something like that and maybe have the bullet sort of graze your ear? That is very stupid and very dangerous. You'd have to put an awful lot of trust in that shooter. Plus, one miscalculation on that shooter's part, and that could kill you. Okay? So, claiming that it was staged when we know that there was real bullets, since somebody actually died, you're basically accusing Trump of almost getting himself killed to make himself look big, to make himself look like he's there, like he's being attacked or whatever their motives are. But it was like it's some kind of way to make Trump look bad. Oh, he staged it to make himself look like a victim. That was a hoax so he can get more supporters, or whatever the conspiracy theory is behind that. So I got a notification on my watch. So anyways, whatever that kind of bizarre conspiracy theories is about that. So aside from the fact that it would be very dangerous to stage it with real bullets, and we know that it's real bullets because somebody actually died, and plus one miscalculation on the shooter's part. Now, then, again, if it was staged, one miscalculation on the shooter's part, when you try to stage something like that, well, it could go horribly wrong. It could have actually killed him if it was staged. So Trump would have been putting his own life at risk if there was, in order for that to be true. Trump would have had to put his own life at risk just to get more supporters. Because one miscalculation, if he was that type of person, if that really was staged, which I don't believe that it was, but if that really was staged, and we know that they used real bullets and somebody actually died, then Trump would have almost got himself killed to make himself look good. Okay? Now, that is what they believe. That's not what I believe. And given the type of person that they make Trump out to be, I'm not sure if the kind of person that they make that these people make Trump out to be, if that type of person would do something like that with real bullets. Now, he would have been, if he was going to do something like that, say something like that, why not use blanks? No, fake bullets, fake blood, and maybe one guy in the audience, like have them be in on it, and then it looks like, instead of using real bullets, because you know that they used real bullets, so if they're going to stage something like that, why would they use real bullets? Another thing, when you look at all these TikTok videos, especially after the election, the 2024 election, of people that were openly calling for Trump's assassination, we can look at all these videos right after that shooting right after the attempted Butler. Look at all these TikTok videos of people expressing their disappointment that Trump survived the assassination attempt. Some people go as far as saying that at first they thought Trump was killed, and then they started to celebrate, and then they was disappointed when they found out that he actually survived. And then you have all these people that are calling for Trump's assassination, openly calling for Trump's assassination, ever since at least November of 2024, after he won the election. And after Butler, there was another attempt in September, and a third possible attempt, I think in October, if I got that right. And I say possible attempt because it was very suspicious. They caught the guy before he was able to try anything. So when you look at all these people that are openly calling for Trump's assassination, and all the people who approve of Trump's assassination, when you look at how the left celebrates violence, and how there's high approval among the left for Trump's and Elon's assassination, is it really hard to believe that somebody actually attempted it at Butler, and then a couple more times after that? Is that really hard to imagine? Okay, well, like when you see these people calling for Trump's assassination, and even calling for the assassination of Trump and Elon, and we can see them celebrating the assassination of a United Healthcare CEO. Is it really hard to believe that somebody tried something with Trump and at Butler? Is that really hard to believe? Because of how we've seen them react, how we've seen them openly call for Trump's assassination, how we've seen them call for violence against Trump supporters. Is that really hard to believe? And obviously, any threat must be taken seriously. Anybody who makes those threats should be investigated. Okay? Anybody who makes them kind of threats need to be investigated. Okay, because there's people who there's people who believe that Joe Biden was an illegitimate president. You didn't see nobody, as I mentioned in previous videos before talking about this, you didn't see nobody calling for the assassination of Joe Biden. You didn't see nobody calling for violence against Joe Biden. You didn't see nobody calling for violence against Joe Biden supporters. Okay, you didn't see nobody doing that. what you do see people doing is openly calling for violence against Trump, against Trump supporters, against Elon Musk, all that stuff. You see people doing that. So, because of what we've been seeing, this means that the assassination attempt at Butler was most likely real. And in fact, it was real. And if any part of it was staged, it wasn't staged by Trump. It was probably staged in the sense where they wanted to try to get rid of Trump and make it look like an assassination attempt, like an assassinate, like this guy, the guy who did it would have gone down as the bad guy and as the villain. You know, this means that it could be possible that JFK, John Kennedy, actually that assassination actually was a bit of an inside job, and they let and they let that guy take the fall. They used him for a scapegoat, and that guy at Butler, they're probably planning to use him as a scapegoat too if he had been successful. Like in the same way that John F. Kennedy was assassinated, they probably tried to do the same thing with Trump. Okay, that's probably that might have been an inside job on their end because of poor security and how everything was ignored. So that assassination attempt was most likely real. Okay, all of them. None of it was fake. All of it real. Okay, and we know that it is real because we see how the left openly celebrates violence and openly approves of the assassination of Trump and Elon Musk. That's what they want. That's what they're calling for. That's what they're hoping would happen. They want somebody to do it. Okay? That's what they want to happen. And then they was claiming to be tolerant and peaceful. And some of them even try to go as far as claiming that Trump supporters are the violent ones. I mean, how are people not seeing this? And I've also seen a lot of walking away videos where people walked away from the left because of all they've been seeing, all that's going on. So yeah, so some people are not buying it, and this right here is why they started walking away. It's kind of nonsense. And every one of these people that are openly calling for Trump's assassination and the assassination of Elon Musk, every one of these people that are calling for that, and they're calling for violence against Trump supporters, and they're trying to call for vandalizing of Tesla and Tesla property and stuff like that, every single one of these people should face criminal charges, because that's not freedom of speech, that's inciting violence. Okay? That's what that is. Okay? That's what that is. That is inciting violence. And here's the thing. If Trump really was a criminal, why would they have to call for violence against him? Why would they have to call for his assassination? If Trump really was the felon, the criminal that they make him out to be. Maybe because deep down inside they know that Trump is not a felon. Those allegations were false. That trial, all that stuff was politicized. It was weaponized against him to make him look bad. So since this video is getting long, I guess I did here. And the other topic the other thing I want to mention, I could talk about in the next episode, next video, I mean. Yeah, bye.